koutou. Tēnā koutou katoa, ko matatou te maunga, ko taikirau te awa, ko ngā toki mata whaorua te waka. Kia ora, ko miria te marae, ko ngā tihine te hapu, ko ngā puhi te iwi, ko hine amaru te tupuna, ko kāwiti te rangatira, ko Miriama Mcdowell tōku ingoa. Nōku te whiwhi ki te tū I mua I a koutou I tēnei pō, I te taha o ōku hoa whakaari ki te whakanui tēnei kaupapa whakahirahira, hei whakanui tō mātou ao Māori. He kai whakaari ahau, he māma ahau, he kai kapua ahau, he kai hōpara ahau, he māhanga ahau, he tuakana ahau, he teina ahau, he Māori ahau. I want to be one of those wairua Māori. You know those Māori, they whakaeke ki te whare karongo I te taumaha Māori. The haere mā te ngāhere ka kite I te toa Māori. They're followed by a manu Māori, they're visited by your tupuna in a dream Māori. Kaua e pō he. My tupuna do come to visit, engari ka torohia rātou e tā kutāne. Ko wai ahau, chopped liver. I'm just 10 centimetres away. You couldn't just travel a little bit further and have a little kōrero a wairua ki ahau? I want to be one of those pāo you to the kitchen when the kai is ready Māori. Those happy to do a karanga if you need sis Māori. I want to be one of those tūkaha ki te mihi ofe te kawhe. Ka rāranga I ngā waka katoa o ia tangata I te rūma Māori. I want to be one of those Māori, those wahangu Māori. You know the ones, they're wahangu until they stand up to do the kapahaka and then pūkana to the death Māori. Ooh, I love those silent, deadly Māori. I want to be a Māori-speaking Māori. A whakatauki I runga I te whakatauki Māori. Moia koutou e rā momo Māori. Ka whakamahi he whakatauki, hei whakamārama te whakatauki. Ki te kōrero e pāna ki te whakatauki. Oh, we te whakatinanatanga o te whakatauki Māori. I want to be one of those Māori that when I talk about my maunga, e tino mohio ana au I tērā maunga, nā te mea e kite ana au I tērā maunga, ia rā, ia pō. I want to hoki atu ki tōku aua, ia raumati, kaukau ai. I want to tino mohio tōku waka, because I've crossed Te Moana Nui a Kiwa 3 times already, kind of Māori. I want to be the kind of Māori that when I say where I come from and people start chucking those ingoa whānau at me, I know who those whānau are. Yeah, that's my cousin. Ooh, that is my sister's midwife, kōrero pono, āhua mangere ea. Yeah, I know her. She lives just down the road from my mum, kind of Māori. But most of all, I want to be an I me te ki Māori. Ooh. I want to use the I when it's the right time to use the I. Not because I learnt it at Kurapo, but because it just kind of sounds right. I want to be so up close and personal with those I's and keys that you have to look away kind of Māori. I want to be a mātou tātou, I don't even think about it Māori. A tōku, tāku, why are we still talking about it Māori? So what kind of Māori am I? I love my people. I love my reo. I love my whānau. I love my mahi. I love our pūrākau. And most of all, I love a kaupapa. I'm a kaupapa hard kind of Māori. Oh, yeah. I've heard it said that ingara o mua, our tupuna used to wait till a tamaiti was about 8 years old, until their natural skills and talents had come to the surface so that they could guide them in the right way. A tōna wā ka puta atu ngā taonga tuku iho. Sometimes I wonder, what would my tupuna have done with me? I'm very good at pretending to do anything. I can run towards a burning building. I can run away from zombies. I can turn into a zombie. I can walk into the ocean and turn into a seal. I can give birth in a moving prison van. I can shoot a moving target with a shotgun. I can do anything you ask me to do, as long as it's pretending. One time I was doing a film about the signing of the Treaty of Waitangi, and there was a huge waka waiting for me in the harbour, and I had to walk out with the cameras rolling towards this waka. I was wearing this incredible costume, layers and layers of heavy linen, petticoats, corset. The cameras started to roll. Easy job. I just walk out. What I hadn't realised was that as the moana connected to my dress, it got heavier and heavier and heavier. It was like pulling up 4 sacks of potatoes as I stepped nimbly into the waka. I was feeling myself. I hadn't even made the water ripple. I sat down. I gave one last regal look towards the land, and then I heard a voice behind me. Sis, you got to turn around. What? You're facing the wrong way, sis. You've got to turn around. Oh, shit. Okay. I grab the 4 sacks of potatoes. I stand up as if I have a whakaaro, a maumahara, a kaupapa. And then I changed my mind. Oh. I turn around, I step over the seat, and I sit down. The kai hoi paddle me out of the harbour, and I leave my dignity behind me. I was 20 years old when I went to Toi Whakaari, New Zealand drama school. I'd just been to South America. I was hikaka, I was young, I was fresh, I was pohara. My dad drove me from Tāmaki Makaurau to Pōneke, and in the back there was a mattress, a bed base, a 2-seater couch. On the way I said to my dad, "Hey Dad, how much money am I going to need to start a flat in Wellington?" He goes, "Well, you're going to need money for your bond, for your rent 2 weeks in advance. You're going to need some money to buy extra furniture if you need, and you're going to need money for emergencies." "Oh, yes, so how much would that be?" "Oh, about $1,200. $1,200. Cool. $1,200. "Why? How much have you got?" "I've got $80. My dad didn't speak to me, he didn't look at me for about 40 minutes. We got to Taihape, and he pulled in and turned off the car. "Give me your money." "What?" "Give me your $80. I handed my $80 over to my father, the start of my life as an actor, and I watched him walk into the TAB. That was the end of my career. He was there for an hour. He came out. I watched his face, grim as. It didn't look good. He got in the car. He said to me, how much did I say you'd need?" And I said, $1,200. He pulls out a wad of cash, Starts counting it out, 100, 200, 300, 400. I can't believe my eyes, 700, 800, 900. He's still going, 1,200, 1,500, 1,800, $2,000. There's your rent, your bond, your advance, emergency money, some furniture, and you and I, my darling, are going to have a great dinner in Wellington when we arrive. I tell you this story because for me, money has always been something that appears out of nowhere. Like magic. And it's in abundance. And then it's gone. Ko tērā te āhuatanga o te ao whakaari. Sometimes we've got a job, sometimes we get paid a lot of money just to show our face for one day. Sometimes we don't work for 8 months. Only 4% of actors work in the world at any time, but we so want to work. A lot of my friends who trained as actors didn't continue to be actors because that way of life, they just couldn't do it. They couldn't embrace the unknown. Ko te ao whakaari tōku hononga ki tōku ao Māori. He tamariki tēnei no te kohanga reo. Ko te reo Māori, te reo tuatahi o tōku māma. Engari i te wehinga o ōku mātua, i ngaro tōku hononga ki te ao Māori, ki te reo Māori, ki tōku whānau Māori. Ko te ao whakaari tōku kai arahi, ki te hoki atu ki tō tātou ao miharo. I ako au ki te karanga i te ao whakaari. I ako au i ngā kiwaha i te ao whakaari. I haere au ki ngā hau e whā hei kai whakaari. I rangahau au i ngā pūrākau i te ao whakaari. Nōku te whiwhi. I hikoi au i ngā waiwai tapu o ētahi mana wahine, ko Whina Kupa, ko Ōhaki Bennett, ko Hariata Hongi. Nōku te whiwhi. Ko ngā kai whakaari, ngā kai aka o te pūmanawa. Actors are the athletes of the heart. Ko te ngākau, te tūāpapa o tā mātou mahi. Ko te ngākau tō mātou pū, tō mātou mauri, tō mātou taonga puoro. Nōku te whiwhi. Actors have to hold this really delicate balance between absolute self-belief and absolute humility. We have to believe every time we go up for a job that we are the only person who should be playing that role. And we have to be able to pick ourselves up off the floor when we don't get it. Failure is an essential part of who we are as people. I remember a time I was doing a film with Miriama Smith, who's going to talk to you tonight. I wonder if you remember this story, Miriama. We were sitting in a trailer. Miriama was the lead character in the doco-drama, and I was playing a supporting character. Maria Walker was there too, another beautiful kai whakaari Māori. And Miriama says, "Oh, man, this fat suit is really uncomfortable." I was like, "What? You're wearing a fat suit?" She goes, "It's just a little one, just about that thick. I guess the producers just wanted me to look, just a bit more like a normal person, a bit more of a normal body." I was like, "Wow, wearing a fat suit." Maria Walker chimes in, "Yeah, my one's really uncomfortable too." What? What? You're both wearing fat suits? Yeah, I think they just wanted me to look a bit more, a bit more normal. Nobody asked me to wear a fat suit. I didn't get my call to get my fat suit fitted. The shame and the degradation of being a kai whakaari. E maumaharana au te wā tuatahi I rongo au I oku tūpuna. I tūau, I mua I tētahi whakaari. I was backstage in the dark behind the heavy black curtains, and suddenly my tupuna were all around me. I whakapiripiri rātou. The first day I stepped on set to play Whina Cooper was one of the scariest days of my life. I stood in the trailer, I put the costume on, I put her shoes on, I held her very own rosary beads that she had prayed with her whole life, and I said a karakia to my tupuna, how am I going to do this? How am I going to walk in this woman's shoes? And then she was there, beside me, around me, and I realized this time I don't have to become someone else. My job is to let whina come to me. Nōku te whiwhi. I'm going to show you this clip. It's one of the times in my career where I didn't have to do any acting because the given circumstances of the scene were so incredible that I just had to react to what was happening. Miriama Mcdowell puts a korowai around whina to help her and encourage her to step into her mana as a rangatira. This korowai was made by Whina Cooper. This korowai was worn by whina on the Land March.
E hara koe e te ware tau kai. Ko whina te wake. E rangatira koe. Ore koe ke I te kāna, māo e mihi ki rātou. Mā rātou koe e mihi.
Nō reira e te whānau, what kind of Māori am I? Kōrero pono. I am not the kind of Māori that can feel my tupuna around me. Often I have to be reminded that they are there with me all the time. But when I play a role, when I stand backstage, when I do the job that I was born to do, my tupuna just come along for the ride. Anei, he whakatauki, he whakakapi tāku kōrero. Mā mua, ka kite a muri. Mā muri ka ora a mua. I am a storyteller because when I tell our stories, it gives our people an opportunity to see their strength and their beauty. And in turn, when I am watched by my people, I can stand in my own mana as a storyteller and as a kai aka o te pū manawa. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa.